It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Gardening? But don't you hate
You see, a friend told me that the secret to self-improvement is to work on things you're not so good at.
Fair enough. I didn't think that was something you would consider. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now—
Akeem! You don't mean... you...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still
can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this! You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Satari, but once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Come on! Satari is already
So, Shishan, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something? Wait, did you just say attic? I thought this place didn't have an attic. Also—
well, the restaurant recently added an attic. I've been studying there because— Oh, right. I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've come—
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia, and treated people as nothing more—
Please, please stop!
Even now, Satari is still trying to run from her problems. She can no longer justify everything to herself. Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city—
Please, try to remain calm, miss.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking—
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long—
Miss Zetaria,
you know—
the Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the— You must face the truth, Zetaria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the child of the Scarlet King. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of the Scarlet King. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King? Or are you the god himself?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the Sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
The Academia entrance? Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Maybe it's time for me to find a god.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring the Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who does well. Now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow.
Catherine, we're here!
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your...
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside world.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go to sleep early, just so we can exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
Well, regardless, as long as... There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards. This hour of the night.
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City! What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy, he called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the Academy, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been... Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the Academia. They're in... But what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we... you mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia forest? Even though he turned it down at the time, there's no time to lose.
Hold it right there! A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the...
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're...
The outcast? An outcast? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat.
You're up, traveler! Answer!
Into the wind!
Neat.
That's close enough. New punch. Tip. The wind knows me. Illusion shattered. Beg for mercy.
Neat.
It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements!
Neat.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like what. But this Doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an amp. Going up against smart people is...
Quick! Under the umbrella, or you'll get soaked. You can't risk catching a cold.
Oh! It's the Traveler and Paimon! Hooray! It's nice to see you again!
To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. I'm finding it hard. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol?
Oh, Master Tainari? He just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago.
He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest?
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. He almost never leaves his post. He left in a hurry this time, though. No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate all his tasks using a schedule. To leave in such a hurry? Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academe. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Party's DI.
A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to work on all of. Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI.
Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. If you run into Master Tainari...
Got it. Will do. Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the Doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control heat. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing the Doctor. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally...
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure knowledge.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened.
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the Doctor mentioned depositing information into the... Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still... Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture...
What a relief. The Doctor sure pulled out some...
I wouldn't be relieved. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump card. Also, the Doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he captures my consciousness inside.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then, it feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty plus! The Doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
But actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI?
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you didn't come here for sightseeing, right?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see...
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him...
Traveler?
The voice! It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise! It's so nice to see the two of you again.
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called? Satyavada life?
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to leave the Avidia Forest means... you're not in training anymore? Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporno life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine.
You did it! Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long last! When my consciousness made contact with the gods. What a supreme and unparalleled experience that was!
That sounds incredible!
Oh, alright. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try...
Hold on. I brought some spirit-born ale with me. This is still a crucial...
We're using that incense again?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladeer's memories? But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that have...
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic... Alas, if only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Pariporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything... Wait, have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right. Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was. After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness? Wait, then where is Nahida's?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusion.
Oh no! Nahida's. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say it. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that alchemical divination at the. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the Traveler's body...
Your guess is correct.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the
that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope and goals. So all I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia...
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardes Dii and began searching for a way to return her to her... If I didn't take action,
Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aruv. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to... But then, what is the connection between creating a new god?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out.
I'll stay here for now. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully... We finally made it to Caravan... So, just past... Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were just here a second...
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal... All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run in. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their order.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes research. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand. Which brings me back to you. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you. And upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some... To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge. No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own.
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have any concrete goals.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village.
It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll
It's always better to travel with someone you know.
There is no escape!
One with the forest! Smells like something good is inside.
Another test subject.
One with nature!
Enshroud!
Picked the wrong test subject. That tingle? Picked the wrong test subject.
Smells like something good is inside.
Kamisato Ayaka, present.
Stay close and you will live.
What shall we do?
Before us lies Aruville.
Whoa, this landscape is...
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the mantra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Haytham?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have—
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise—
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it from him.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's— If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh. What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either.
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aruville? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly!
Someone's calling for us! Oh,
that sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you—
All right.
Well, this is pretty... Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has... Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right, now that we're all better acquainted, we should return as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm. I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sands. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and if anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the
Oh! On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will—
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been rather.
Huh? Exile?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did as General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible... I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were careful. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached. The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages.
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the Academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action again. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Al-Haytham as...
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler.
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now
Yes. I wasn't... After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed
the most entitled...
Unfortunately, those academics don't... Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the same. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidence.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly After all, curiosity often proves to be the...
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about...
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me...
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you...
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced... My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Holmayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru Village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your...
That's more like it. I missed you all so much,
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in this...
Creatures? In the sand?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The wind's died down. That Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go.
Candace, you're still fighting? You've been up—
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now...
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Into the wind. Shine down. Take flight.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sands.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls...
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become... Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering...
So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sand...
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's presence.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the... Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia Forest. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace, but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins?
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, but, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my... Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
A fateful offering.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange... The Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But, initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was prepared. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not as after that, the people of Aru Village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as
a soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru Village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru Village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha...
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably...
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it... So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely...
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never... In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me...
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's...
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can eat...
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the...
That look in your eyes... How can this be to think? Our Archon has been amongst us this...
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this, but easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to help me
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that?
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my...
So you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was. But I had a vague feeling that they didn't...
Whoa! Hathan wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candy.
All right. But...
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know...
I had...
You knew this?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, however, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, it's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in a...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up! Let's go...
Really? Yeah!
All right.
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and...
okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing.
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house...
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do—
Gotcha! Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes—
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. You're looking—
Yeah.
Ooh, that's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family.
Wow, what? Okay.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Let's head over there. Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will—
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never— Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon.
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the—
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take—
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah! Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I'm—
okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's—
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear, and that the Scarlet King will return to this land.
Hey, go on.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for—
Is that—
seems like he still wants to know—
got it! At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace. Just please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the—
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person you—
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radical.
No, of course.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from... So you'd best just stay home, don't do anything, until I've gotten to the bottom of this.
Yes, got it!
That scared Paimon half to death! Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that. It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just I hope I can be as cool as Candace one day.